Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Okay, it's just super close. Oh, there it is! Woo!
Oh, yes. It is another joyous occasion. Matinee Edition is here again.
Episode.
I forgot to look it up.
Open up. Hurry up and open podcast app. Oh, there it is. God damn.
Okay, I was just filling space. What episode are we on?
21. We can drink.
Fucking one.
Matinee Edition can drink.
My goodness.
Time to get crunked.
Get crunked in the club.
Get lit.
Do you think 50 Cent still gets crunk in the club?
Probably.
My goodness. Who gets more crunk, though? That's the real question. 50 Cent or Ja Rule?
Oh, Ja Rule.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, wait, no, is he in prison?
No, Ja Rule got nothing, man. I can't believe that.
Fire Festival.
Shit. Hashtag Fire Festival.
I saw something that was like an expose about Fire Festival and how like Ja Rule was taking everybody through a tour of the grounds like a week before it was supposed to happen. It's like, over here we're gonna have fucking celebrities and porn stars drinking. It's gonna be crazy. And everybody who's there is like, fuck, this isn't gonna happen.
This ain't gonna be Ashanti.
Monica.
Ja Rule, man.
No.
I don't think, even if I had the opportunity to talk to Ja Rule, I don't think I would. To be honest, and that's just as a normal citizen.
There are a few normal people that I would, or a few like people that have like an out there presence that I actually would want to interact with.
I mean, like, I don't know. Some people, it's like, no matter what celebrity it is, like, they're just gonna be like, oh my god, I want a fucking picture. And it's like, do you really want a picture with Guy Fieri? Or Fieri or whatever?
Fieri.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Hot Ones. Watch that Paul Rudd episode.
Speaking of Paul Rudd, is there what's the deal with Ant-Man, man?
Okay,
like,
so a while back he like put out, I think it was on Twitter or something. He put out like a plea. It almost sounded like being like, guys, they're not gonna do an Ant-Man 3. We gotta push for it. I mean, like, the Ant-Man movies are like they're fun.
Exactly.
They're like never like the big crowd pleasers of the MCU.
They're the family movies.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun though. I enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp. I really like Ant-Man, honestly.
I laughed.
Yeah.
All throughout the Ant-Man movie. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they're just fun films, but I can understand why but they're also like the underperformers of the entire MCU as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're just like the ones that are just like, well, we need to keep Ant-Man like relevant in the universe.
But now they're like, he helped him with the time travel stuff. He doesn't have to be around anymore. like that was the setup with that character.
It's just like they used him for the plot point, and then he's like, now he's out.
Yeah, Paul Rudd's a funny guy, but I mean, like, fuck it.
It
appears that Ant-Man 3 has been greenlit and it's slated to start filming in 2021.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm into it. Like, I mean, like, cause like, I don't think there's any harm in another Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, I mean, like, fuck it. They could do the I think they sort of hinted at it in Endgame when Scott Lang started getting really fucking pissed. How that's like one of the side effects of exposure to PIM particles is you become like super.
Wait. He's getting really pissed?
Yeah, like he's actively getting like livid and frustrated and yelling at people.
Oh, I mean, I guess I just didn't really pick up on that as I went. I was so distracted by like everything else.
I only caught that on like one of my subsequent viewings of the film, but he's like, it's something that's mentioned in the first Ant-Man, and something in the comics is that as Hank Pym was affected by PIM particles, he became like he became a wife beater.
Well, I mean,
he became just an abusive and overall shitty person.
In the ultimate, I think that's like in the ultimate universe.
Wait, what about like in what he like slapped the Wasp in the 60s?
I mean, that's okay. So maybe that is. I'm just thinking of like the most vivid interpretation of it. I'm thinking of is like the ultimate universe one.
When he bit the Blob's head off.
No, well, I mean, there is that, but there's like when he thinks that Janet's like cheating on him with Steve or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And then he like smacks her, they get into a fight, and then
Yeah.
like he like sicks, like she shrinks, and then he sicks a bunch of fucking ants on her.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, it's like fucking brutal.
That's crazy.
Like, and it's like, yeah, and you're like, oh my god, like fuck this dude.
I think in the 60s it was when he was Yellow Jacket and he was really going on that weird.
I mean, yeah, like his whole character's
Yeah,
up and down.
I mean, like right now in the comics, he is fused with Ultron and became one person.
yeah, it's fucking weird.
It's
man.
fucking crazy shit.
Fused with your creator.
The creator. But he, like, I think that'd be interesting.
It'd be such a weird character trait, but it'd be hard to pull off in the context of those like kind of funny, more like family inclusive movies.
Hey,
like
dude,
all of a sudden Paul Rudd's beating the fuck out of the wasp. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
I just think that'd be interesting because it's sort of
Pittsburgh. I have to choke a bitch. Oh my god.
Oh no, I just
Marvel, you can have that one.
I remember seeing in like the 60s though. There was like it was just like he backhanded the Wasp in an argument, and it was during that time of like comics being super clean and you couldn't really get away with anything.
The comics code, man.
Yeah, the comics code, approved by the comics code.
Approved by the comics code.
So I think that would be just sort of an interesting. It's been sort of set up too.
I mean, yeah, I guess if they've been alluding to it, like I guess it'd be an interesting like turn for the character. For sure.
Which also, and then there's another thing. Ghost is a good guy at this point, so that's interesting. They sort of, yeah.
Well, Ghost is somebody that they potentially like rumors have been potentially like hinting at like could be like included in the Thunderbolts.
Hey, that's segue. Look at this guy.
Well, but that's cool though, because like the ghost character was really fucking interesting. Actually,
yeah, they didn't really do much with her.
No, but like the powers, dude.
Yeah,
like,
it was so fucking cool.
Like that's the thing. Like you set up this like really incredibly powerful person.
They'd sort of set her up in Ant-Man and the Wasp as like almost like a Winter Soldier-esque character.
Yeah,
where she was like going around and killing people for the U.S. government for a long time.
Was basically like constantly hopping through dimension.
Yeah, she was like she could like phase through stuff because she was constantly being pulled in between.
Yeah, which is fucking insane.
And she had that chamber that she used to like sync back up.
Yeah.
So it was like very cool character premise. And I actually like what you're saying about the Thunderbolts here.
Well, I mean like they've built up these like a handful of really cool side villains
that sort of have came back and became good. Like Bucky immediately comes to mind.
Yeah, and like they could like pick the ones that have been most popular almost.
You can almost delve in there with like Red Hulk. Ooh boy,
Thunderbolt Ross.
Get that mustache.
I mean, he's been hobbling around the set of fucking Black Widow.
Yeah,
he's popped up. He's been the only character surviving character from the Incredible Hulk. Yo, dude. And like
Edward Norton.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that other one, right?
He wants to come back.
Edward Norton.
Supposedly Liv Tyler too.
I mean, like I feel like some of them are just like, oh my god, these franchises are so popular.
It blew up.
Like Liv Tyler, you're not a strong actress. I'm just gonna say it. But like
you're big because of your dad.
Yeah, like
we know.
Exactly. I mean, it's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she's a nice person.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I don't really care if she is. But like,
what are the odds of us ever interacting with her?
I don't want to see her as She-Hulk. I don't want to see her.
I don't think she'd be She-Hulk. They would maybe do her like the Red She-Hulk.
I don't want to see that either, though. Like, I just I'd like to maybe see like a nod to like that movie in general. Like bring the fucking Abomination back.
The Master.
Like, sure, dude. Like bring the well, you can't though because the guy. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm thinking of completely different character. You could bring the Master in.
The Master would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Like and they're making the Hulk a popular character.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hulk sort of takes a back seat from here on out. Like Ruffalo's gonna pop up in She-Hulk. For them to set up that character correctly, he has to be there.
But like in the comics, the Immortal Hulk comic has been like cool. Hugely popular.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just kind of making the Hulk character more relevant.
Yeah.
And so if they successfully make She-Hulk popular, they could successfully like include more Hulk characters. Yeah. I think.
What was it? A-Bomb?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, they're all centered around like either like how strong they are, so they can fucking punch Hulk, or they're centered around like how smart they are because the Hulk's so stupid.
Yeah.
So
Like, is the Hulk gonna be able to brute force this one?
Yeah, well, it's kind of it. It's like this is the Superman conundrum.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
You have to like either do somebody Superman can punch or somebody that can like fuck with Superman's brain.
Yeah, pretty much. It's and it's difficult to keep getting stuff that's original in that department.
Yeah, but
so
Thunderbolt Wart Ross.
Yeah, so he's been spotted on set of Black Widow a handful of times, and like. I think we were talking about this earlier. You mentioned that Scarlett Johansson was never on set for any of those times that he was there.
Yeah,
supposedly at least.
Supposedly.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like if it is like a post-credit scene where they're setting up like some of the other Black Widows to become like main players.
Totally. I mean, or at least to like set them up so they're existing in the universe,
and so they can pull them back at some point.
Because it would be super cool to see that Thunderbolt series.
Well, what I immediately think of is think of like X-Force. They're sort of like the Black Ops version of the X-Men.
Yeah.
What if, and with what Scarlett Johansson said about her, like the Black Widow stuff being like an isolated franchise.
Yeah.
Which is sort of interesting.
Very weird, like.
It'd be cool if there was like the main Marvel movies, which are these sort of like big superhero action. And then you have like Winter Soldier-esque espionage films on the side that are centered around like Black Widow type characters.
Well, you could do like a line of more like serious, potentially kind of darker movies. Maybe that's where Blade pops in. Dude.
Almost like DC.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like, almost like they're going to copy DC. Because what DC's doing... I just want to, like, let's just talk about DC for a second. Because what DC is doing is probably successfully setting themselves up for... like that darker line that will branch off into like a kid-friendly fucking version, like a family-friendly version.
They got like the Shazam shit going on.
Exactly.
And they got the Joker stuff going on.
They got so like they have like Shazam and Aquaman, which are like the campiest fucking movies I've ever seen. But I mean, fun. Sure, they're fun.
I will say
Aquaman was like a little too fucking long.
Yeah.
But like Shazam was a fucking fun movie.
Shazam, I actually had a really good time watching.
Yeah. So like I would love to see like a follow up to that.
Yeah.
Which they're Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Black Adam.
He just recently like dropped that they are actually starting filming like in July.
Was it been 7 years since he was cast?
10.
Holy shit!
Like the comment that he put was like, "This character's close to me. I smell what it's cooking. Like it's like I've had it in my pocket for 10 years. You know what I mean?" So
god.
So like,
I wonder if they'll go to Samoa in the Black Adam movie.
Oh god. But, I mean, it'd be cool to see him established in a darker movie.
Yeah.
And then to have him cross over into knowing that he's like a kind of villain.
Yeah.
Crossing over into this like more potentially family-friendly Shazam.
Is he more powerful than Shazam?
I wouldn't say he's necessarily more powerful. He's definitely more fucking brutal.
Yeah, like he's more cutthroat.
Basically, it's like if Shazam's using his powers, he's like exclusively using his powers for good, and so he's kind of limiting himself in that way.
Yeah.
Black Adam doesn't have that restriction, so he's using all of Shazam's powers, but for whatever fucking purpose he wants at any given time he wants. So it's like, you like laugh at him in the wrong way, there goes your spine. Like, no big fucking deal. Yeah. Like, Black Adam doesn't have those reserves, which is what's cool about his character, but he's also kind of that anti-hero.
Yeah.
Where like...
I remember in the Injustice games, like, Black Adam and Shazam both... Like, they both agreed with Superman at one point, but eventually Shazam was like, hey man, like, your parents and like Lois, they wouldn't want you to be doing this. And Black Adam just like looked at Superman and like nodded, and Superman grabbed him and just lasered straight through Shazam's head. And Black Adam was just like, that's what he gets. Like, fuck.
I mean, that's kind of it. The other thing is, like, if you successfully introduce Black Adam, then you also have a contender to fight like a Superman on film. Yeah. Because Black Adam and Shazam both can fuck up Superman. Yeah. Like that's just
maybe they won't show his face again.
Of their powers. From now on, all you get for like even
neck
like
down.
A standalone movie is just neck down Superman.
Obscured by like light behind him. So total weird. Like Jesus imagery. You just can't see his face.
That'd be fucking great.
Yeah.
But So I mean, DC's making some fucking good moves finally.
Yeah, finally.
Suicide Squad. They dropped like a set of like leaked photos have been like popping up around. Leaked. I think they're all like proper. Like,
I feel like some of the stuff
like drops.
Some of the stuff I feel like is leaked. Some of the stuff I feel like this was put out.
Yeah. But like there's been a handful of like confirmed characters now.
Yeah.
Mongol, fucking Javelin.
Yeah.
Which, like whatever Javelin, but the cool thing about that character is his costume looks fucking accurate.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this a little bit before, but what what DC's finally doing is I think they're finally stopping the idea of like we have to introduce all these characters. When you don't have to introduce these characters, people going into these movies know that like superheroes and villains,
people
and
will
all
be
these
more than willing to
exist.
just people will be more than willing to just like hop on the train.
Exactly.
Like
so
as long as your characters are charismatic and likable, people are gonna be fucking down.
Totally.
And if anything, like from a business perspective here, if you don't give a shit ton of backstory, you don't completely explain a character, people are going to be more incentivized to go out and fucking find a comic that character's in.
Totally, dude. Like, it'll just boost the fucking numbers in your comic sales, probably.
Yeah.
But they're just...
Imagine somebody being like, wow, that Captain Boomerang character is super cool.
Well, look at what happened with Harley Quinn, dude. Like, she was already popular, kind of. Like, arguably, she was already popular. And then Margot Robbie's fucking version of her instantly like boosted her character
just straight through the roof.
Like she now has top-selling DC books every fucking like
which is crazy.
Release numbers. It's
crazy.
Insane. But you know, like they could definitely do that with other characters in this fucking universe. But they're finally doing like I think this just has James Gunn's name written all over it. They're finally just like using proper costumes, proper colors, like proper like everything for these characters to just like say like yes they exist, all these things exist, like welcome to the fucking world.
We're not in the late 90s, early 2000s era of like the X-Men being like black leather.
Yeah, and, like we're no longer trying to adopt things into like modern society.
And it was like a slow transition too. Mm-hmm. Like we got the first like Iron Man where it was like this sort of it wasn't like cartoony looking, but it was still honest. And now they've hit the point where it's like okay, people are into fucking superheroes now. Exactly. Like we can just go for it.
Some people like the MCU better than they like the real world. Okay, like it's just like
it's like they put Hulk in a leotard and he's a shriveled up arm now. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
And people love him for it.
It's like nobody's gonna complain. Thor had a beer belly and an axe and a hammer,
dude. And supposedly the rumor has that he's going to continue to have that weight.
Seriously?
In the Love and Thunder movie.
What the fuck?
Which I also read a rumor might introduce like another series of like kind of standalone Thor movies.
Hey, well, like not focusing on Hemsworth's Thor?
Not focusing on Hemsworth.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard like Beta Ray Bill might show up.
It'd be interesting.
Hey, Thorcore.
Depending on Thorcore. It'd be interesting just depending on like how they pull off that movie.
Yeah.
You know,
I have faith. Taika Waititi's a fucking beast. Yeah. I want to watch his new movie coming out, Jojo Rabbit, where he's playing Hitler in it.
Oh.
Hey, go and check it out if you're listening to this. I think it's coming out I think it's coming out today.
Right.
It's the story of a kid in Nazi Germany whose imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler, and he finds out he's like dressing up like the Nazis every day, and he's going off to camp and they're playing war games and shit. Totally like indoctrinated into that culture. He finds out his mom, who's played by Scarlett Johansson, is harboring like a Jewish kid. And it's totally like satire based upon like people agreeing too much with government.
Fair enough.
And like all that sort of stuff. It looks very interesting.
Which is a very relevant topic.
Yep.
I mean,
and we might have to do a local yokel on that one.
But okay, so
what were we talking about though? We're talking about Thor: Love and Thunder and the offshoots potentially.
Oh yeah. So he also, I think, announced something about like they're not necessarily following the Jane Foster cancer storyline.
I doubt that they would do that. That's too morbid.
I feel like it's pretty dark for like what they are trying to accomplish with the Thor movies these days.
Maybe eventually.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do they don't find out her identity for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just like, well, I mean, I imagine the movie it'll probably take like the majority of the movie.
Yeah, maybe like end of the second act.
Like, who the fuck is flying around as Thor? Like,
Thor's just like, the fuck is going on here?
That's me.
Also, supposedly Korg's coming back as well. So
well, Korg just turned into like a really popular character. Man.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Just a fun side character.
Yeah, I mean, like he showed up in Endgame.
Yeah. Which we talked about this once, but Red Hulk almost showed up in Endgame.
Weird.
Which is why I think they're really trying to include Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
In those things, I think the more like some of those characters, those like little side characters you saw in that Endgame battle.
Yeah.
They're really trying to just keep. Keep them present in the universe.
Did we ever talk about how the Russos came out and were like, yeah, Nova was in that final battle, and everybody was like, what does this mean for the future? And then like 3 days later, they were like, we're fucking with you guys.
Yeah. It was just like a fucking joke or whatever.
Yeah, like they were just seeing how much they could fuck with people.
Yeah.
I thoroughly appreciated that. I think it pointed something very important out about our current culture.
People are so willing to jump onto like any of these fucking rumors. I mean, we talk about rumors all the time on this show, but
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we talk about them because like they'd be like they're fun ideas to like run with. I think like sure that'd be fucking great. Like if they could potentially do something,
Absolutely.
but like most of the time, excuse me, most of the time you have to just fucking like remind yourself that like none of these probably are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I was so shocked to see Captain America pick up the fucking hammer in Endgame because I was like, that's a great idea, but it's such a rumor.
Yeah.
It's like such a bold rumor that like they're just gonna throw that one away.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Like, that was like the lucky one.
It makes it all the more satisfying when one of these like outlandish ideas actually works out.
But like that's like 9 of those 10 out of 10 of those ideas are gonna be like thrown in the fucking gutter.
Yeah. I mean like when we're talking about shit, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about what it was. We were talking about Ghost Rider a few weeks back.
Oh yeah.
And like the cool ideas that they could do with that and potentially a Thunderbolts show would be badass. They could do the fucking symbiote Ghost Rider Red Hulk that beat up Galactus.
This is so insane. I need to get my hands on some Cosmic Ghost Rider, but I would love to see a Cosmic Ghost Rider personally.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like that's my hope for Ghost Rider in like the future Marvel.
What if that's
to like screen time?
Because it looks like they're ditching the Netflix stuff. But rumor mill, I saw that they might be bringing over Matt Murdock as played by Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
And Jessica Jones.
Oh well, okay.
Just those two characters over.
Damn, dude, I wish they'd bring Luke Cage. Like,
me too, dude.
I love the Luke Cage show. Like, they really did a solid job. Like, Mike Coulter or whatever.
Mike Coulter, yeah.
Like, he's just a solid fucking, like...
I like that dude a lot.
That dude just, like, owns that character really well.
He's, like, he nails the, like, stoicism of it. Yeah. He's a very, like, almost, like, somber, but then at the same time, like, gets up and beat. But never is really that like put off by something.
Yeah, like you can tell I don't know, he's just a solid. Like, he just plays the character really well.
Yeah.
But the Jessica Jones one, I know she like got really popular. And
I really like her.
Same here, but like I wouldn't have picked her over other things. Like, but Charlie Cox for sure.
Charlie Cox is like in my opinion, some of the best fucking casting.
Dude, so my girlfriend's gonna be gone for like most of December.
Yeah.
Right? I'm planning on just rewatching Daredevil. Like, awesome. Do it. Like that whole month. And I was just like, just because like I've been thinking about lately and like it's just like some of the fucking effort that just went into that show. Just in general. Like, you see the fight choreography is fucking incredible.
I'm confident that like Daredevil is going to be a fucking classic.
Oh yeah. Like even if they don't, Marvel doesn't run with Charlie Cox's version of that in the future. Like that short Netflix run will go down as like something fucking great. Yeah,
it's gonna be remembered. Yeah. It's gonna be fucking weird though if like Defenders ever gets taken off Netflix and then like season 3 of Daredevil begins with him like in the fucking building and the upside down cross. We know somebody who didn't watch Defenders and she came up to me and she was like, what was going on at the beginning of Daredevil season 3? And I was like, oh, you didn't watch Defenders.
You kinda have to, man.
Yeah. I mean, like, as sort of mediocre as it was still fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. But that was like, it was really riding on like the crossover.
Yeah.
You know?
It was riding on the crossover, and I stand by the fact that the Hand really shouldn't have been the main villains there.
Yeah, I agree.
They should have made it Fisk. Like,
oh, totally, dude.
Like
somebody already in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you are like, the Hand was just like too much.
The Hand has never even really been that fleshed out. They've never been like a main villain in a comic, excluding the time when Daredevil took it over.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, there's been times Wolverine's fought like the Hand. There's been time, they've always been like a contracted force, though. Yeah, they're like, yeah, exactly. Like they're kind of like they're a means to an end for a lot of things, for like the plot of a character, or the moves of a character, right? Like
they're always like this. They're this like other. I like to think that's not really. They're sort of omnipresent. Yeah, but they're not ever like the main villain. They're always like working with somebody else.
Yeah. Like it's like Bullseye, and then Bullseye has like some members of the Hand like with his back. You know, got his back
Bullseye.
Shit, you know. But,
yeah. Speaking of a plot line that if Disney Plus picks that up, I want them to bring back.
Dude.
Bullseye in Daredevil season 3 was a phenomenal character.
So intense,
and so good,
dude. It was like. It blew my mind, man. Like I was just like, wow, this is such a good interpretation.
Yeah, and it makes so much sense.
So it makes so much sense.
The dude was horrifying.
Yeah, it was, man. It was creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy. I think that
I've watched like movies with like serial killers in them that are less creepy than him just right out the gate. You know?
I will say that one episode where it starts with Fisk going through his entire background, and you get to see Bullseye's history with sort of Fisk standing off to the side. Yeah, with his arms behind his back.
Fisk thing, it is like looming.
Interesting. Yeah. I think we could have a friendship. It's
like of course he refers to it as a friendship.
That shit was so great. And like his like weird obsession with that one girl who I was so sad when Fisk killed her.
Oh right, man, I was just surprised by that. Honestly,
it was right after like she was like, okay, like it's okay, like it's okay, Poindexter. I'll hang out with you. Like I'll be your therapist.
I thought like I straight up just like I thought like she was gonna be a way, you know, like I thought Fisk would just like use her as like a controller. I thought Bullseye, but like then when right after that, it's like holy shit, man.
He offed her brutally.
Like, well, yeah, I mean because like, and that was like the brilliance of the whole season. You felt like slowly more claustrophobic because what the moves that like Fisk was making all the time throughout that series just like left you with less and less of an option, or at least less. Like I mean, like from the perspective of Daredevil, like also, less and less of an option.
It was a way better idea for him to be wearing the like beefed up Daredevil costume rather than like a Bullseye suit.
For sure,
that'd have been so tacky.
Dude, it'd have been really random, like to pull in a Bullseye suit.
I just remember Bullseye at the beginning of that show's introduction when Fisk gets ambushed. And you see, they're in like a car convoy. Yeah, and there's an ambush. Oh, and everybody's getting decked, and he runs out of bullets, and a dude pulls a gun on him, and you see the clip go straight into his throat.
Yeah, that was like the.
I was like,
first, I was just like, oh!
I was like, holy shit! It's
so intense.
It's that dude was great as Bullseye, and like he's coming into. If there's a 4th season, he's gonna be completely unhinged.
They could really pull that series alone, and just like from that,
they don't have to reference anybody else stuff. Which I guess at the end of Jessica Jones season 3, Luke Cage shows up.
Yeah, I don't think I've finished it, but like I heard that there was the crossover.
Yeah, I guess like you don't give a shit about spoilers, right?
Not really.
Trish, I guess, turns into she gets like her Hellcat powers, and she ends up like running the city.
That's right, man.
And Jessica has to take her down, and Luke shows up in his like full mafioso suit. And is like, if you ever have to take somebody you care about down, I want you to take me down, and like then that's her influence to go and like help and like take Trish out of the equation.
Fair enough.
But now it's done ranting about Daredevil. Yeah, it's so fucking good. Disney, Feige, please. You have all the publishing deals and all the movies and TV now. Yeah, man. We want to talk about this.
Feige, man.
Feige's turning into the Trump of Marvel.
Yeah, they just gave Feige control of everything, man. They like control of publishing, control of like all the screen time, the movies, the television.
It's fucking crazy. And he's doing Star Wars.
And he's doing Star Wars.
Watch it. Whenever
it's insane.
Whenever fucking Unzer or something. Whenever Unzer or whatever his name is, the CEO of Disney, steps down, it's gonna be fucking Feige.
They're just gonna give it to Feige.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, he's making them so much fucking money, dude.
Marvel is the most profitable franchise in the world.
Breadwinner.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense to have Feige's great with movies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to have him control things like the publishing. If he delves too deep into the control of Marvel's comic book publishing, I think it'll just result in too much similarity between the MCU and Marvel 616. I think you'll find that Marvel Comics will become less insane and imaginative and creative and expansive and unique.
And you'll lose the inspiration for the movies.
Exactly. And that's where, the comics are where the inspiration comes from.
Yeah.
You can only pull so much off in a movie.
Yeah. And it's you can be imaginative, you can create original content. A lot of what's gone on in the MCU is original, but it's original interpretations of the comics.
Yeah, they're successfully interpreting elements of these comics into actual things that make sense for somebody to watch on screen.
Infinity War and Endgame, they weren't the Infinity Gauntlet storyline.
No,
it wasn't. But without the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, we wouldn't have gone either of them.
Yeah, but again, exactly. They took elements from that story. And so, I think that's just the danger. Feige's obviously a really
he's a smart guy.
He's great at he's great at mapping out these huge fucking projects and accomplishing them.
Yeah.
But
he gets results all the time.
You stretch them too thin, he might start fucking
that's why
shitting out terrible things.
That's why Sony left.
Dude.
They were like, hey, Feige doesn't have the time to pay attention to Spider-Man, so we're not going to bother.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Feige.
Bye-bye.
But,
we're just going to go and, put him in the corner and fuck him up over and over again.
Nobody puts Feige in the corner.
Madam Web.
But seriously, though, I just, I want to see more successful franchises, more successful things, but I don't want to see anything sacrificed. I don't want Feige to sacrifice the quality of Star Wars for the quality of Marvel.
I think what's probably going to end up happening is that he's going to eventually his right hands are going to take over. He's going to be having these people that came up underneath him, sort of with that. Because supposedly the culture of Marvel Studios now is really fucking good, and there are a bunch of really really smart people below Feige as well. And they're talking about. I heard something recently about if Feige jumps onto Disney, it's a perfect opportunity because his right-hander right now is this woman that does a lot of pretty much the same stuff he does.
Yeah.
And Disney doesn't have many, this is also just a press perspective, Disney doesn't have many women in high-up roles there yet.
Yeah.
And that'd be a fantastic opportunity to give a different perspective as well as keep that sort of style going.
Which reminds me, I read this thing about the females cast of a lot of the Avengers movies and whatnot. They directly went to Feige and expressed that they really want an all-female
A-Force,
A-Force,
whatever
kind of movie.
That's what it was called when Dr. Doom made his own world.
Well, and that's what I mean. Just something to that element, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be fucking down.
Well, dude. Again, they've established a lot of really successful, side characters. Like Pepper Potts is a recognizable character now.
Absolutely.
But
I doubt she's going to show up.
Well, yeah, I doubt she will. But it says an idea. She's, they have tons of these side characters that they could easly make into
I wouldn't be surprised
because they're all relevant characters in terms of comics. So
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Kate Bishop Hawkeye with. Say Cassie Lang shows up as one of an ant girl or something like that.
Oh, for sure.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, isn't there's that Hawkeye show?
Yeah, there's the Hawkeye show that's going to center around Kate Bishop.
Yeah, they're going to obviously develop her for the future movies.
And now, who knows if fucking Renner's going to be in it?
Well, Jeremy Renner's going to be in the series.
Well, have you seen the shit show with him lately?
No, what?
Where he's his ex-wife is suing him and calling him a wife beater and all that shit.
Jeremy.
And saying that he's a raging drug addict.
Well, I mean,
fuck.
Drugs aside, I guess.
We saw
don't beat your wife or anybody really.
Okay, we're speaking to you, Hank Pym.
Maybe he'll transition to a different role.
Oh no! Flashback.
Bishop becomes Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner becomes Hank Pym.
Hank Pym in the '60s slapping Janet.
That was terrible.
Should we before we got about 10 minutes left here? Do you want to talk a bit about El Camino?
Sure.
Yeah, we both watched it. I think that's a good amount of time to talk about this.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So neither of us have watched Joker yet.
It's a good. I mean, El Camino is a good movie. Like I told you though, I left it not expecting to have watched what I watched.
Yeah.
But like what I watched was good.
Yeah.
I wanted more, I think, from it in general.
Well, we all wanted another Breaking Bad.
But like it was good.
Yeah.
It was definitely like you could like the pacing was different than like a Breaking Bad episode.
Absolutely.
Sure. Aaron Paul was incredible.
Always. The dude who plays Todd aged a lot since the end of Breaking Bad.
That was kind of one of those things. Like a couple of the characters, I love that they used as many of those those actors as they could.
Yeah. Skinny Pete.
But some of them definitely put on some years.
Badger. But still, I mean, like overall, it was cool that they brought all these guys back, and the essence of the characters was still a thing, which I liked a lot.
The whole world was still there. Like you didn't feel disconnected from it.
Yep.
From the time that had passed between last watching the series.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I thought Aaron Paul, you could very well see that evolution in the character and how he played it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had time to marinate as to what that character was all about. In between the time that he had spent from for the last time he portrayed.
Yeah.
The character. I mean, I think he just he probably took into account the reaction that people had to his story, as well as being able to really soak in, like I said, the idea of that character's journey in that first part of his existence, which is the Breaking Bad series.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, let's fuck it. If you're this deep into the podcast, we're talking about spoilers at this point. It was awesome they brought Walter White back for that one scene.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I
couldn't really tell where it landed.
I don't think it was that good of a moment. I think it was sort of really forced into there. Everybody wanted to see it, but nobody. But the way they did it was sort of.
It was unnecessary. It was more so.
Could have been a better. Better scene.
I think there were more impactful scenes they could have just taken from the show directly rather than creating a new scene.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed seeing that's in my opinion the one of the best duos in TV history. So I was
for sure. They definitely they definitely bounced well off each other in terms of their characters.
You can tell they're still friends too. And it's interesting looking back. What I liked about that scene was it showed the progression of Jesse. He's the dude. He was this sort of weirdly happy-go-lucky, just yeah, bitch, that sort of stuff. He's making himself a fucking huge plate full of pineapples and shit.
Yeah.
And then he's this gruff, scarred up, very silent, very serious dude at the end of it.
Yeah, they definitely I mean, that was one of the brilliances of that moment was that they gave you a really solid chance to remind you where he was before this movie.
Yeah. I liked I was surprised with how much of the film was flashbacks as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashbacks. It's a supernatural episode.
Yeah. Although, Todd, the sadistic motherfucker, he's that character.
That guy, dude, fuck.
He's so weirdly, nice.
He's menacing, man.
But he's a psychopath.
Yeah. And, I've seen that.
No, sociopath.
I've seen that actor in other things.
Meth Damon.
And he's fucking creepy in, everything he's been in.
Love it.
Man.
He
comes off as harmless, but then you realize, how deep, that weird, dark, creepy,
he's enslaving Jesse. He's putting on the welder's mask, just whoa.
It's so weird.
But at the same time, he's got this fucking cleaning lady.
Yeah. Just the idea that he's just so casual about this dead body in his kitchen or whatever. It's oh yeah, she discovered this book full of money, and I didn't know what to do about it, so I killed her,
and
kind of thing. And it's like that's not the way to go.
He's driving along. He's like, we should bury her someplace beautiful. She deserved it.
Yeah, it's like you just fucking murdered.
You murdered this woman. And his whole deal of like, he's just like, when Jesse pulls the gun on him.
Yeah, that whole moment.
We'll get a pizza. It's what kind of pizza do you like? Cheese, cool.
What I want to know is like whether he actually like rewarded Jesse for that, or
I think he did.
Because I mean they never really fully show it, but like that's the really key thing is like how did he fuck with his mind after that moment?
Yeah. Well, I think he would have been perfectly nice, but I think Jesse knew in that moment that if he killed him, the Nazis would kill Brock.
Yeah, that was kind of it. Like I think they would have all known that it was Jesse, and there was no way that they, now, and that's the whole thing is like it's so incredible to see how that character, like him, like Jesse Pinkman, as a character, just like turned into like this broken like individual. Yeah. It was
and also
it was more emotional of a movie, I think.
Yeah.
Than I was like thinking we were gonna get.
Also it reminded me of how fucking good Breaking Bad was at ratcheting up tension in just these little moments.
Oh yeah.
Like the scene where he pulls the gun while he's like in between the mattress. He pulls the gun on the dude, and that just rack zoom back onto his face through the darkness. It was like, holy shit!
That was a cool shot. It was, oh man.
And also just building up when the dude's walking around the corner with the gun.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's that whole scene when he was like in the apartment, trying to find the money.
Yeah.
I kept thinking I was like, how the fuck? Like he's tearing apart that goddamn room. Like how the fuck is nobody else in that building? like being like, oh, is there somebody in that like taped off crime scene over there?
Specifically the old dude.
Yeah, because like I mean like the damage that dude does to the fucking place. Like he like tears it apart. So you're just like what? Like there's like that nosy ass old neighbor the entire time, and you're just like that guy's not like thinking this is fucking fishy. He's not hearing these fucking noises.
I do love that like halfway through the movie he goes to the vacuum dude and tries to get himself out of there.
Yeah.
And
Robert
it's like
Forster.
Yeah, Robert Forster. Rest in peace.
Shit, dude. The dude died like the day. It was like what the day after this.
It was the day it was released.
The day it was released, man.
Yeah. Hey, fuck. Rest in peace, man. He goes there and it's like $1,800 as the breaking point.
Yeah. He has like almost all of it. He counts it all out. That whole the whole sequence of him just like counting out all the money.
Yeah.
And then like you just like it was just so funny because you get through all of this.
It's a fuck ton of money.
And then he's just like, this is just not enough.
He calls the cops on him.
Yeah, he calls the cops on him. He calls his bluff on it too.
Which there were two fucking scenes in that film where I laughed out loud. It was that one and the one where they're pushing the carpet off the fourth story.
Oh my god, dude!
That was like, that morbid laughter. Like, oh my god!
I know. I just kept thinking, I was like, that's somebody's relative.
That's a person.
Like it's a person.
No, I enjoyed it a lot. And it made it wrapped it up well, and I think I had the same feeling as you. It's like this isn't its own standalone thing.
No,
it's additive. It's another 2 episodes of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and again, as much fun as it was, I think, and maybe this is just me being a selfish Breaking Bad fan. I just wanted more from it.
Yeah,
but it was the way it ended with Jesse maybe finding some peace and going to Alaska.
Yeah,
and just finally getting his chance to have a new identity.
Yeah,
that was a great way of concluding his character's run. Yeah, you know what I mean.
He's sort of getting what he always wanted, and it's interesting. Also, the whole there's a ton of parallels between Jesse and Jesus. If you break into it, stuff as fucking little as God, Jesus was a carpenter. Jesse studied carpentry. It was the only thing he took seriously. It's there's some great videos on YouTube breaking this shit down. It's the whole it's the whole rebirth thing at the end. Is that like a theory though? Jesse is Jesus.
Jesse Pinkman's Jesus.
It's Jesse. There's some YouTube video, and it's I think it's titled Jesse was tortured for your sins, and it's
I mean, like that may be valid, but that
it's a
I
bit
think
it's a
that's
bit
bit of a-
it's a bit hand-fisted, but then like a lot of motives of storytelling are based on like biblical stuff. Look at Superman.
Well, I mean, the Bible's one of the oldest books, right? So it's probably been used as a reference for storytelling for years.
But it's amazing. It's pretty
generations.
amazing. It's very intriguing, the parallels and stuff, and the essence of that character.
Fair. I can't imagine anybody working on that script went into it thinking like, all right, how can we get Jesse Pinkman's story to parallel Jesus?
At the end of that fucking there it is. Watch that video, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I watched it right before watching the movie, and I was like, okay,
fair enough. Well, either way, go out there and watch El Camino because it is fucking awesome.
it's a great movie.
Thanks for listening. This has been Matinee Edition.
Hey,
once again.
watch Daredevil.
Watch Daredevil. Peace.